ACSblog is here with Hope Metcalf, lecturer and project director of the National Litigation Project of the Lowenstein International Human Rights Clinic at Yale Law School. Hope, how would you distinguish what's going on at Bagram right now with what was going on at Guantánamo a couple of years ago?
It's a great question, and the simple answer is they're fundamentally identical. And what I mean by that is that Bagram, as it stands right now, is essentially a redux of Guantánamo as it was in 2004. And what I mean by that is that although the worst of the conditions, the most horrific stories of torture that we've heard, for example, that were detailed in the film Taxi to the Dark Side, where we know that detainees were actually killed while in U.S. custody at Bagram. We don't believe those types of abuses are still going on. However, all of the other very important aspects of human rights violations that we associate with Guantánamo, those are still very much active and live issues at Bagram. And so, for example, we have a situation where Bagram is actually a larger prison population. Many people don't realize that, but there's upwards of 600 people who are currently being detained without any type of process or judicial oversight at Bagram. Many of those people, in fact, are functionally identical to those who are at Guantánamo, and yet this administration is still denying their right of habeas corpus. And to give you a quick example, we represent one individual by the name of Amin al-Bakri. Mr. al-Bakri is a gentleman from Yemen. He was on a business trip in Thailand when he was picked up, taken through a variety of secret detention facilities back in 2002, and ended up at Bagram. Literally, some of his cellmates ended up at Guantánamo, have received habeas review, and have been released. Mr. Bakri, unfortunately, for whatever reason, remains in Bagram to this day, and we have brought a habeas corpus action on his behalf. That's pending. The district court found in our favor. They recognize that Mr. Bakri, just like the petitioners in Boumediene and some of the other watershed cases regarding habeas rights of Guantánamo detainees, the district court recognized that he was functionally equivalent to those individuals. The Obama administration, unfortunately, is persisting in resisting that decision. They have now revamped some of their procedures to try to give the appearance of process and fairness to Bagram. But the simple fact remains that Bagram is still a black box. We know very little, and the detainees receive very, very little in terms of process. No access to lawyers, no judicial review of any kind, and the use of hearsay and coerced evidence.